Nominations of horse races that are pleasant to pronounce. Number one, the Ack Ack Stakes. Trust the profits. I'm clearing my throat here as we're going to be talking through the Ack Ack Stakes. Unlike the Awesome Again Stakes, which I just recorded a little while ago, we actually do have entries for the Ack Ack Stakes. This is a Breeders' Cup when you're in for the Dirt Mile. We have 7 horses here competing for a spot in that Dirt Mile. Some interesting horses to talk through here. Only a horse of 7. It's going to be run at Churchill Downs. It is a G3, 1 mile on dirt. Let us begin. Seize the Night, 4 wins in 11 races. Run more races in 2023, 7, almost double than he did in all of 2022 and 2021. Last out, there was a third place finish for him in the RA Cowboy Jones Stakes at Ellis Park, losing to Stage Rider in that one by 2¼ lengths. Best showing at any stakes race to date, I would say. Fifth place finish at the Hanshin Stakes, losing to Zozos by 8 lengths in that one. Zozos, that name is going to come up a little bit later as well. Previous to that, had 2 allowance wins at Ellis and Oaklawn for what it's worth. But going a mile, from what I've seen from this horse, does better at the distances. If you look at those, if you look at the notes I got here for the 2 allowance races that he did win, and I know they're allowance races, they're not stakes races, but they were pretty high profile in terms of the purse size and whatnot, right? 9 furlongs, 8.5 furlongs. He's going a mile here. Needs more distance to close. He had that in those other 2 races. I think that is probably going to hold back Seize the Night here. Obesos. Obesos. 13 races, 4 wins. Second at the Jeff Hall Memorial Stakes, losing to Hear My Song by a neck in that one. Breeders' Cup Sprint behind Elite Power, CZ Rocket, and Jackie's Warrior. He finished 5th in that one. 3+ lengths behind Elite Power. Third place in the Commonwealth Stakes, finishing 3 lengths behind Prevalence. Obesos, I think this is one of the horses that's going to be the class of the race here. He's already raced in some pretty high profile races, the Breeders' Cup. Even though he finished 5th in that one, it's respectable with the talent that was in that race, right? You're getting Elite Power, CZ Rocket, and Jackie's Warrior. I mean, those are some tough horses to handle. So Obesos, definitely a contender for this race. 3 Technique. Um, yeah, I remember this horse being on the Derby Trail a few years back. Made a slight showing, poking his head through. Didn't hear from him for a while. Now he's coming on strong again. 6 wins in 31 races. Doesn't sound like a lot. But last time out, he won the John A. Nerud Stakes, beating Synthesis in that one. Previous to that, third place showing at the Nixco Overnight Stakes, losing to Zozos in that one. He's been piling up a couple wins here and there. So 3 Technique is really starting to come around. He was in the Dirt Mile last year, the Breeders' Cup Dirty Mile. Yeah, that's one way to put it, I suppose. 2 lengths behind Cody's Wish in that one. 3 Technique, probably one of the classier horses in this race as well. Zozos. So here it is. Here it is, folks. 7-horse race. Brad Cox, Florent Geroux, assuming Florent Geroux is here and not in California for any other races that he might be in. Um, Zozos is the class of this race. This is by far the best horse in this race. I would say that it is early, but saying he's the one who's going to win this race. 6 wins out of 10. Last time out, he had a 4th place finish, going 8.5 at the Iceland Stakes. Fairly weak 5-horse field. But yeah, it got pressured a little bit on the pace, and I think that's what you have to do with Zozos, is you have to find some way to pressure him on the pace. Previous to that, he rattled off 3 wins in a row. First at the Hanshin, Gate to Wire, beating War Campaign. First in the Knicks Go Overnight. Gate to Wire in that one, beating Kupuna by 3/4 of a length. Going to be the pace center. If he doesn't get challenged, he's gone. Show's over. Nice knowing you. Stage Raider. Google that photo, see what you get. This is about right. 4 wins in 10 races for Stage Raider. The RA Cowboy Jones Stakes. He won that one by 2 lengths over Big Blue Knight, Seize the Night. Big Blue Line, Seize the Night was also in that one. It's his first stakes race, first stakes win. Not too bad. Previous to that, he was coming off a 9-month layoff and running in allowance races. Before the layoff, he had a nice run there. He had a couple wins, couple second place finishes at big parks. So this is a horse that was developing before he had himself a bit of a setback. Getting back on track now. I think that that win in the, let me say it again, the RA Cowboy Jones Stakes sets him up pretty nicely. Skyro is another one with a layoff. Last race for Skyro was 8 months ago in January 2023. He's had some good workouts. So he's had 3 workouts in a row going 5 furlongs, 1 minute each. 1 minute and change, no fractions of a second, if you will. For that, second place in a 100K handicap on Tapeta at Gulfstream, losing by 1 1/4 lengths to Wolfie's Dynaghost. That's a fun name to say. Second place finish there. Before that, first place finish, a 73K allowance on Tapeta, beating Summer Assault by 2 lengths there. He was starting to show some things. This is a horse that's been switching back and forth between dirt and Tapeta. Where he fits in this race is going to be curious. This is not a horse I was expecting to be entered in here, so I'm curious to see what Brian Lynch has going. Cottle River. Cottle River. At one point, like we talked about 3 Technique, Cottle River poked his head up for a couple Derby prep races and didn't make so much of a showing of it. Looked like more of a one-turn horse, 6 furlong mile runner. 6 wins, 6 second place showings in 20 races. Not too shabby. 2 straight 10th place finishes though. Um, 1 mile turf allowance race, weakened down the stretch, lost by 21 lengths there. The Knicks go overnight, weakened down the stretch, lost by 24 lengths there. But previous to that, second place at the Oaklawn Mile, losing to Hopper by 1 3/4 lengths there. So what's going to happen with Cottle River? Last 2 races indicative of what you're going to see. Has he gotten over his struggles? What are we thinking of Cottle River there? Anyway, moving on. We're at the end because there's only 7 horses. The safe play, as I mentioned before, is Zozos. I'm going to say my value is 3 Technique, but man, I just can't see anyone beating Zozos. I feel pretty confident about that one. Value play, 3 Technique. If you're going to play Zozos, key them in. You got Obesos, 3 Technique, Stage Raider. Those would be my 1, 2, 3, 4s. Yeah, I'm also curious to see what kind of numbers we get on Zozos. I'm guessing it's going to be sub 1 when it actually does come out. No morning line yet. We only have the entries. But in terms of what happens at post time, I'm guessing it's going to be sub 1. You got Brad Cox, Zozos, all the wins that he's got. There are a couple other interesting horses here, but I just don't think that there's anyone up out there that can challenge him. So, with that said, what do you guys think? Is Zozos the lock to win this race? Is he going to get his ticket punched into the dirt mile? Or is there another horse out there that you like? 3 Technique, Cottle River even. Maybe you think Cottle River is going to get off the schneid in this one. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give us the like.